Now you can see my client here, and we already did a lot of lasers, and also I think we had also a removal, I'm not sure, but our first session we did beautiful brows, but it stayed, I can see it, but not too much. And when I work on the skin right now, I feel like it's not smooth. It's like rubber. I don't know. I hope that's the word I want to say. The thing is that when you work on the brows, which previously had some permanent makeup, and you also used laser to remove them, sometimes it's quite hard to apply pigment into the skin because the skin is really thick. Not thick, it's tough. That's the proper word I wanna say, because see, even the structure of the skin when I work, the feeling in my hand, it is not smooth. And I want to show you also these kind of clients where it is quite difficult to apply pigment into the skin, and we all have these kind of clients, and it's normal, and it's not so easy to work with it. You can see I applied already some pigment, not too much, but at least something, yeah. I'm happy even for this. I am using Stromboli and Maui Beach. These pigments are more organic ones, and in case I have tough skin and I see that my client comes to the studio for a correction and she does not have a lot of pigment in the skin after the first procedure, and I know that the last session was done, for example, 2 months ago, and I remember that I had a problem to implant the pigment into the skin. I almost always choose pigment which has more organic ingredients than inorganic, because we already know that inorganic ingredients are much harder to implant into the skin and they do not stay as much. And if we already have tough skin, like really, yeah, tough is the proper word, I would say. If we have this kind of tough skin, especially with old PMU and after removals and after lasers, it is much easier for you to choose maybe a little bit more organic pigment straight away. But as I really, really love more inorganic ones, I try to do, sorry for the kids outside, but our windows are open and my studio is in the middle of the old town. There is a lot of kids outside. Yeah, so yeah, you can work with a little bit more organic ingredients straight away. But for me, I don't know, I love to use a hybrid with more organic ingredients, and especially carbon black. I think that carbon black is really, really good ingredient, and it can help you to apply pigment into the skin quicker comparing to iron oxide black. We'll see how much. Oh, we have more now. More pigment in the skin. Better. Okay. Okay. I like to do a little bit more like shaded outline. And now we are trying to apply as much pigment as possible, especially here in the body of the brow and at the bottom part. You can see that I am not putting a lot of pressure on the skin, and see, bleeding and plasma is coming out of the skin. I shortened my needle, and we will see if that helps. Sometimes it helps, but sometimes it's just not working as much. Here I need to apply more pigment everywhere, so this particular client is not really suitable for a gradient in my opinion, because of the skin and because of the pores and everything. It would not stay as much. So I will try to, of course I will not do it as strong as the bottom part, but I will make it tiny bit more than normally. Okay, we have to clean with wet too. Now I was cleaning with only dry cotton pad, but we will clean also with the wet one to see how much pigment is in the skin. It's better. It's getting better. And it makes me happy. Stretch the skin quite well. Have 90-degree angle. And I am putting a little bit more pressure, because otherwise I wouldn't apply pigment there, I think. Very difficult skin. You should tell your client transparently what is going on and what they can expect, because it's their brows and they should know the truth, and you shouldn't tell them, oh, everything will be perfect, everything will be amazing, you will have a beautiful brows, when you know that already during the procedure you had a problem to apply pigment into the skin. Every normal client will understand that, because this is not your problem. If you do everything properly, this is not your problem. So you can try everything, but sometimes nothing is working. The only thing I can do, I can see that the pigment is going into the skin. The only thing I can do is to continue and saturate it a little bit more, and that's it. And to explain to my client that maybe it will not be beautiful even after second procedure, because of the skin. You know, it's easy to tattoo beautiful skin and young skin, but not everyone in my studio has beautiful and young skin, so that's the reality. We tattoo everyone, and we can make the brows better and nicer and help the client at least to see a shape and at least to feel better with something. But not all my clients have 100% beautiful results, and that's normal, I think. No one will tell you this, no one will show you this, but yeah, I don't like to be superficial and I don't want to show you only the good stuff, and you ask for it and you got it. Now I tried to apply some pigment, but it's already, there is so much plasma and blood coming out of the skin. Not as much blood, but a lot of plasma, and this is happening all the time with this kind of skin, which is really tough to work with, and it's hard to apply the pigment. Now it looks better, but I really had to change the technique differently, completely different. And you can see that the color looks nice, it's nice, but I'm not really 100% sure how it's going to heal. So we will see how it's gonna heal. I hope I will think about it and I will take a picture and I will show it to you. And now we will go to the other side and we'll see if we are able to saturate this brow too, as nice as here, as nice as this one, because sometimes it happens that one of the sides is much worse to work with. So we will see, and we will see how we can do it and what we can do for this client. Now I changed the side and we will see. I have to make sure I am not pressing so much because I work on the tail and we know that it's hard. No, it's hard, but sometimes if you use a little bit more pressure, the tail can be gray very quickly. And when I stretch the skin very well, I can feel much more. Then the skin is not so thick, so I have to make sure I am really paying a lot of attention to the pressure I use. Okay, outline this way, and again from the outline, pendulum movements back and forth, and this way. Back and forth, all the way to the top. Perfect. Show a little bit more pressure, a little bit more gradient over here. We will see how it's going to look like on this eyebrow. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. This way. Perfect. I want to do the whole brow and then I will clean it. I don't want to clean every minute because then I am just taking the pigment out of the skin. This way and more up, 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 up. This way. This way. Okay, my hand hurts a little bit, so I have to find a way how to stretch differently. Okay. I like the shape. I like the shape a lot. I'm so happy that my client has some brow hair, because when the clients have very old permanent makeup with this bluish, grayish colors, a lot of the time their skin is so destroyed, then it's so hard, and when I remove it, it's soft but it's not removed completely, then they want new brows, and then it's hard and the brows heal not as nice as I would maybe want, but it's really hard to work on this type of skin. Look at this brow. I was working here a few minutes ago, and now can you see how much plasma is there? If this stays, there is a huge problem, because then the client will have very thick scalp, and I think that not a lot of pigment would stay in the skin. It's really important for clients to clean brows with a wet cotton pad. It really depends how much plasma is going out of the skin, how big the trauma is, but usually in general I tell them every 2 to 3 hours, every 2 to 3 hours, first 2 days. This is what I tell them, and then I know that they don't have a very big scalp. And if they don't have a very big scalp, most probably the brows will heal nice. Of course, sometimes they are too late, but it's not a problem. The problem is if nothing stays. That's really a problem. Because if nothing stays, then if your client does not understand, if your client do not understand permanent makeup, sometimes they think it's your fault. But you know that it's not your fault and you did your best and you tried hard. But this is a really big disadvantage of permanent makeup. Even though you do 100%, sometimes if the skin will not take the pigment, it's your fault and no one cares. But it's not your fault and you know that. It is quite okay now. We have to work much more over here on this bottom part and on the tail. But I think we will be done soon. I cannot work a lot because we saw what happened on the other brow. If I see a lot of plasma and a lot of blood, or even plasma is enough. If I see there is a lot of plasma, most of the time I do not want to continue. Yes, of course, I want to do the brows somehow and to finish the work, but I do not want to continue to do it for 100% because I know right now that it does not make any sense. Brows do not heal really nice if you do a lot of trauma. And more trauma I would do, less pigment would stay. For the past few days, I had a lot of difficult skin and I felt so unhappy because I don't know if I can tell you, but I will tell you because you already know that I am very transparent, sometimes even too transparent, but sometimes I enjoy also like a difficult skin, but sometimes I do not enjoy the procedure and I just cannot wait for the final 5 minutes and I cannot wait to get it done and stop working on this kind of skin because it's like there is nothing nice and nothing enjoyable in the process. This is not as bad. This skin is not as, even though it's difficult, it is not as bad. I really think and talk about a really difficult skin, like where you really cannot even see the brows. You cannot even see the pigment. And now you can see plasma and blood is coming off the skin. We will be done very, very soon. I will stay in touch with my client. I am really interested in how these brows will heal because this is our second procedure already, so I need to see it. And after I see the healed result, I will see what we will do next, if it's going to look nice and she does not need any more correction procedure, or she will need one more correction procedure, or she will be happy with the brows even though they will be later. Okay, my gloves are dirty, I have to change them. So, I changed my gloves. I need to finish this part over here and we are done. This way. It's getting more and more bloody. That's life. That's PMU. That's life of a PMU artist. Last touches. Tiny bit more. I have to clean. Tak. Okay, I finished. We are done with the brows. I hope something will stay. I already told my client when I was changing my gloves that I want her to take some pictures and send me some pictures and let me know how it looks. And we cannot see. Can you see it now? You see, right? This is how it looks now when I work more, so I cannot work anymore. Yeah, I told her everything, and we'll see how it heals, and we will see what we can do next. There is no other possibility to continue because I really cannot. It will not look nice, and I will do a very big trauma for her. So this is basically what I would do. I think there is nothing more I can do at the moment. And when I see how it heals, I can change maybe a pigment, or I can make it even more, like even darker, if I see that it didn't really helped. But you never know from the beginning. When you start working, you never know how it's going to heal, like exactly. So that's why it's really important for your client to have a good aftercare and to really understand what is going on with the brows and why, if they heal soft, why they healed soft. So ask your client for some pictures during the healing process, so you understand if the scabs were too thick, or if she was like, I don't know, if she was doing some sports, which she shouldn't. The aftercare is a key. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!